So when we look at Black history, the Pale Man's history is the 6,000 years of existence that they have recorded. Now, everything that predates a biblical flood, when we understand the Americas and the mound building culture and civilizations here in the Americas, these things have a pre-conquering form of Hebrew, which they call Paleo or Lawasho Kadash. Now, these Hebrew artifacts here in America have not been affected by the Eastern corruptions of Egypt. And some of the tribes here that we still find in the Americas, and mainly on these different coastlines and mounds that you'll find Hebrew artifacts in these ancient mounds, showing that this prehistoric pseudo-history of the Americas predates the 6,000-year existence of the white man.
Well, there's been 12,000 years of civilization. So 11,600 years, y'all basically ruled the world. I think there was 500 years where they say the Vikings ruled the world way back then. So basically 11 out of the 12,000 years, black people or melanated people have ruled the world. This is why they keep your history from you. I agree with that. I don't think they want black folks to know how powerful their cultures are, how deep their spiritual beliefs were, but and I think they hold that back from you. But in saying that, if we're going to blame the white man today, he's just a new king, and he's only been the king for about a little over 400 years. So we've been under white domination for about 400 years. But who cares who sewed the first flag? Who cares who invented peanut butter? Who cares who the first black man was to pee in a white bathroom? That's shit to keep you down. That's shit to say, yeah, man, like we overcame this. Yeah.
When we look at black history, the Pale Man's history is 6,000 years. So the historical text that they have received from post-flood, from Noah going forward, anything that predates that is prehistoric. So when we look at this time of the Dark Ages and the Renaissance, and the restoration of history, the lands of the Americas were essential during this time of the Dark Ages when you understand light and the ability to calculate time. These lands are essential to the calculation of time, to understand the Dark Ages and the understanding of history in this 6,000-year process. Everything that's pre-flood, prehistoric, unless the black Pale One was there to witness it, it is pseudo or it is prehistoric. So there's post-flood things that are prehistoric because they haven't witnessed. So when we look at black history, understand the history that we know of is the history of the black, the pale, to become pale and to turn white. Now, these histories that they have received through monotheism, right, came from the Americas. As we understand, the Dark Ages, when these Pale Ones had no access after the fall of the Roman Empire to the Americas, the light. So we understand the light and the origin of light and the fall and the times and the seasons and the landmarks and the whole understanding of the earth. It helps understand and decipher history, so you can understand the significance of the Dark Ages to the black ones, the pale ones. So the Netta, the Naga, the Nedja, nature, Nedja, the forming of the Netta into light and its order, from the fall to the winter to the spring and to the summer. These quads of measure that measure different significances of wet, heat, help calculate time. So the whole universe, the whole earth has to be accounted for. And this is why this ancient prehistoric empire of the Americas, when we look at the Dark Ages, and these Blake ones, these Pale Ones, then I have access to hear from the Nagas, the Netters, the Serpents, our Muru, So understand the oracles in the Americas and this ancient fantasy with the Americas with these pale people. So when you look at Egypt and you see the hieroglyphs, that is called the Medu Neter, right? The writings of the gods. And when you look at Neter, you understand how Neter was changed to Neger, right? Neger, Neger. So when you look at the anointed one, Christ, right? The crown, right? Crown chakra, Christ, the Messiah, Mexico, the Hamashiach, the anointed one, the crown, right? Understand the Morocco. So when you read in the New Testament, the Greek New Testament, where it says in Acts 13:1, where they call Simon Niger, or in Acts 11:26, where the disciples, the apostles, were first called Christians, understand that Christians is referring to Naga, serpents, right? Messiah. So understanding Greek, Ethiopian, it's a Greek term to represent blackness, darkness, right? African, represent darkness, blackness, right? Niger, right? To represent black, and also Christian. Understand the Messiahs, the Nagas, the kings. So when we look at this term black, we understand the Neter, the hidden one, the immeasurable one, darkness of the universe, cannot be measured. So when the ancients referred to themselves as black, they were referring to the Elohim. Look in the book of Daniel, we can understand the significance. Now, when we refer to ourselves as being white or shining one, we are talking about our eminence, our righteousness, our aura, our continence, our face, our presence, which is known in the scriptures as the Pani. That when we understand in the beginning, void and darkness was upon the faces of the deep, that face is the Pani, the presence, the continent, right? The Camille, so we understand the Pani, and darkness, black, what the Neter, the unmeasurable.
All fours. Yeah, grew a little tail. Yeah, some of them right today are born with a little 6-inch tail coming right off the spine. They cut it off quick. 2,000 years, this is up in the cave crawling around, him and the dogs together. That man didn't know how to cook food, didn't know how to...
Before Isaac, right, Abraham, right, has a son. The modern name of the continent Africa is derived from the descendants of Abraham and Keturah. These descendants are Ophir, Ophir. The black Jewish historian Flavius Josephus wrote, the grandson of Abraham, through Keturah, led a military expedition against Libya and captured it. When his grandchildren colonized the place, they called it from its name Africa, right? Libya. Understand when Scipio, whatever in the Africanus, when he conquered, what land did he name himself after, right? He named himself after they conquered Afar, right? In the Latin, the word Africa is Afar, which is similar to Ophrin or Afar. You understand the relationship with Hebrew and Eber, Iberian, Eber, I-B-E-R-A-B-A-R, Iberian Peninsula. This is that Iberian Peninsula, or the Pillar of Hercules, or the Strait of Gibraltar. Understand Genesis 14, and it calls Abraham a Hebrew, and you look at that Hebrew, you come to the origin, Hebrew number 5, 6, 7.
Roots, chapter 2, is called Pyramids Along the Mississippi. There is evidence of Ramses III on the Mississippi River. There's a book called Ramses III, Father of America. Get that?
Around 250 million years ago, the North American and African continents used to be a connected landmass. A recent study shows that a strip of land that runs from Alabama to North Carolina that sits about 9 to 12 miles below the surface of the ocean is left over from Africa. It creates a magnetic variation called the Brunswick Magnetic Anomaly.